I gotta go this year, I gotta go.
Alright guys, today is the day. We're here at Willowbank MX and we get to rip these 125s out there. Unfortunately, Jenna is missing. She's done an ACL, but we're all here and ready to rip in.
Yeah, man, these bikes have come a long way, but it's time to put the premix in the gas, start them up, and hit the track, and hopefully I don't get roosted too hard by this guy. But hey, we're gonna break this down into a very simple process. 1 lap out, 2 lap time trial for each one of us, then we'll switch bikes, give our impression, but ultimately it comes down to Jake Lowe, our test rider, for that valuable point of test rider impression. So let's get stuck into it. Track's waiting for us, bike's ready to go. Should be a great day.
A lot of you have been asking what ratio we're running these 125s at, and it's actually 40 to 1. Not running too rich or too lean, so these bikes are going to be running fantastic.
Out here with the wreckers to checkers guys, making sure no one's taking any shortcuts, keeping everything on the whiteboard. As we all know, the stopwatch doesn't lie. Keeping close eye and we'll decide on the real winner today.
Alright, so the time has come for the final part of the competition, the head-to-head race and the test rider impressions. But first, let's take a look back and see how the bikes are stacking up next to each other so far on the points scale. Firstly, fit and finish. The 20 points up for grabs in this category has gone by unanimous decision to Team Yellow with the awesome Jono Porter replica RM build, pulling on the heartstrings and bringing back sweet memories of the sorely missed legend that was Jono. Now, even though there was no budget, there was 20 points available for the cheapest build out of the two, which also went to the Suzuki with a total build spend of $18,000, leaving the YZ in the dust, which had a whopping bill of $25,000 by the end. Next up, we have 10 points to go to the biggest improvement on the dyno from before and after the build. Now, as we know, the YZ produced 0 at the start, so as long as it simply ran on the second go, it wouldn't take much to beat the RM here. But as it happened, not only did it run, but it also beat the RM with an impressive max power reading of 31.3 horsepower versus the RM with 29.5 horsepower. Lastly, the big one, the 25 points available from the viewer vote. Your votes have been tallied up and the winner in this category, with percentage lead of 65% to 35%, goes to the YZ. So that means as it stands before the head-to-head race and test rider impressions, the bikes are nearly neck and neck at 40 points for the RM and 35 points for the YZ. Now, let's get into the racing. So remember, each team member has 1 warm-up lap and 2 timed laps on each bike, and the bike with the highest average lap time of all the riders put together will be the winner. Let's get into it.
Here comes Sleater for his first timed lap.
Alright, so impressions between both bikes. The YZ was a lot smoother and torquier. The RM was a lot peakier and revier, so you really had to work hard to, well, for me it felt like I had to work a lot harder to get the same lap as I did with the YZ. I feel for Sydney it probably would have been the same. The other guys I'm not too sure because they might be familiar with 125s. For me, I'm used to riding a 300 two-stroke, so yeah, I'm being very lazy.
Hard work. Certainly no 4-stroke. It's really fun. Slightly different setup with the bars and stuff. The power's got plenty on top. You just gotta hard work keeping it on top. What a blast, nice stroke. And I'm buggered after 2 laps.
Yeah, you're right.
I gotta go there, Cheer, I gotta go. That was so much fun. Whew. I didn't know what gear I was in the whole time.
Just hoping for the best.
That was unreal. They are two totally different bikes, eh? Like, totally different. Both fast bikes. But man, it's hard to ride 125s fast for 2 laps. Who would have thought?
Man, they were completely different bikes. So the RM, everything was a little bit taller, a little bit firmer. I sort of felt a little bit more home on that one. The YZ, aluminium frame, it felt a little bit plusher, a little bit lower in the seat and a little bit more comfortable type thing. So the YZ felt a bit more homely and a bit more comfortable, but the RM, you know, the bit more time on it is more racy, and like you could sort of really get into it and yeah, really let the thing rip. So as a couple of people have made mention, yeah, we went the cheeky 134 on the RM, but it was needed. Talking to Dan when we pulled the bike apart, he said it was either just get the thing re-sleeved because the barrel was sort of on its last legs. Spoke to the guys at Serco and they chucked the 134 in there. In saying that, was it a night and day difference to the 125? Man, if you have a YZ 125 at home and you're looking for a bang for your buck thing, that GYTR kit is absolutely sick. I think if you've got a fast kid or you just, you know, someone like myself in the older class and you want a bit more fun out of your 125, man, those things rip. On that note though, the YZ125 with the Electron carb, man, that thing was just always there. It didn't hesitate, it cruised around a corner and then grabbed the throttle. So it kind of lent more to the guys that may have spent most of their time riding a 254 stroke and grown up on the 4-stroke era. Boys did give us the heads up. They said, hey, just be careful on the back brake. Unfortunately, Sid found out the hard way and she stood on that rear brake and around it went. No fault of hers, and it just happened like it almost happened to all of us, I think. So she fell over and she was saying nothing but sorry, 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 but we're all like, you're all right, but can't help that sort of stuff, especially on a track like that as well. The thing was, it was hard packed. The guys were, you know, predicting rain the night before, so they left it. It was slippery, and yeah, as soon as she stood on that rear brake and the thing came round, there was no stopping it. So bit of a fall over for Sid, but it's no harm, no foul. So.
Got the privilege to ride the Wreckers bikes today. They're both incredible. Such nice bikes to ride, lots of power, really nice looking. Both handle incredible. Personally, I preferred the power on the YZ a little bit more than the RM. It was there when I needed it a bit more. However, the RM did rev out really nice on the long straight. It's really nice. They both handled incredible. I preferred the YZ again on the handling. It seemed a bit stiffer and it kind of held up a bit more for me. But the RM was really nice coming into the turns. It sat really well and it was like really easy to flow through the ruts. They both had really good brakes and they stopped whenever you needed it. The RM had a braided front brake line which gave it a bit more feel coming through the turns, and you could like ride the front brake. It's quite dusty and hard packed today, so traction was hard to find. The RM seemed to have a shorter cockpit from the foot pegs to the seat, which, and me being fairly tall, I didn't actually like as much as I did the YZ. Yeah, the YZ kind of seemed to suit my body height a little bit better for me. Favorite part on the RM just looks incredible, and like I'm a huge Jono Porter fan, so I just think for me that was definitely the highlight of the RM. And the YZ, the power on it is incredible and it sounded so crisp. It was like such a delight to just be here listening to the thing rev around the track all day. For me, the worst part on the RM, the power seemed to, it was a bit boggy, or it was like all or nothing, which I think is the way of a 125, but for me, I haven't ridden that many 125, so it kind of felt hard to get used to, where the YZ, the power was probably my favorite part. It like was always there, revved out really nice. You could just fan the clutch and it was just always really, really reliable and always there when you needed it. Overall, as a package, I preferred the YZ. I just found it easier to get comfortable on. It was a bit more sturdy. The power was more reliable. It wasn't on or off. It was just really nice, and you could flow through the turns. Incredible. And it looks sick, sounds sick. They've definitely hit the nail on the head with that one.
All right, results are in. And as we've seen, test rider Jake Lowe has awarded the 10 points in this category to the YZ, deciding it was the strongest contender overall, giving the edge to the YZ with 45 points versus 40 on the RM. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for. The final 15 points for the head-to-head race, and therefore the winner of the Wreckers to Checkers Season 2 by an average lap time of 1:59.93 goes to the YZ. Team Blue are the winners. Total scores are 60 points to the YZ and 40 points to the RM. And not to mention the swearing deductions for potty mouth Dylan not doing him any favours.
Piece of shit.
My filthy.
Duck me another point for swearing your dogs. Get
It all came down the carburetor, I think. I'm pumped.
I'm shocked.
I told you we had the bones. The bones were there.
I was admitting defeat.
I'm surprised too. It's been a big build, but we pulled it off apparently.
And you know what? That team built a weapon of a bike.
I'm actually proper Devo. I told myself I didn't care on the way here in the car, and
But on another note, the RM scored the best times around the track, with the fastest lap thrown down by Nick Mack with 1:39, closely followed by Sleater, just a second behind, running 1:40.
All right, season 2 is coming to the close. We actually got to ride the bikes this year.
How good.
And
You did it.
this guy was the fastest, man. He was the fastest of the day on both bikes as we switched around. But when it came down to the voting process, fit and finish, hands down, with the R125.
Yeah, not bad.
You guys killed it.
Yeah, these guys killed it, but yes, yeah, it looks good.
Yes,
but-
the clamps,
Yeah.
the bars, the little
whole-
idiosyncrasies that made it a JP replica was amazing. But when it came down to the riding and the feeling of the bike, Nige and Sydney came through with the GYTR kit, a very stable Costanza suspension. Yeah, the viewers chose this bike, which surprised me.
Yeah.
We just need to send Dill to Sunday school to tighten up his lip, because he got some points deducted. But overall, congrats to you guys. Dill, thanks for your hard work. Jenna,
Yeah.
that's icing that knee at home. And Mick, you're one fast dude on an RM125.
Comes off the couch, still got it.
Anyways, it's been one heck of a season. Anything you'd like to add, Sydney? Your first season, hopefully have you back.
Yeah, I'm just super grateful for the opportunity. I had a lot of fun doing this, learn a lot. So hopefully you guys can learn a bit from it too. Get out there.
And Nige, I hope we're friends again. You turned one pile of poo into one heck of a motorcycle.
You can polish your turd.
And Dylan, you lost the Golden Rich.
And I'm absolutely devastated. But hey, next season, we want to know what you guys want us to build, so let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, XR200s, 4 strokes.
GB special.
Do we want a budget? Thanks again for tuning in to season 2 of Wreckers and Checkers. The gang appreciates you, and we appreciate you following along with what we do here at MX Store.
I gotta go this year, I gotta go.